Before we get started, I want to quickly thank a few listeners on Spotify who've been leaving feedback: Sharon, Bjorn, Thomas, and one username I can't pronounce that starts with 22. All of your comments, good or bad, genuinely help shape the show. I do read and respond to them, so check back if you missed a reply. I've got about 40 episodes ready to go, and I'm considering moving to a weekly double drop, but I'll need to see those ratings climb a bit first. Thanks again to everyone listening.
I wake with my head heavy and my hands still clumsy from the night before, as an armed stranger enters our room. He throws an oath amulet, glowing red, onto the bed between us. He is Cair Olosis, and he is not alone. Shawn Larnd comes too, both of them oath taken, both drawn by the amulets and the razor. I try to hold my authority together in front of them, but by the time we sit at Marta's table, Cair is already testing me, and Cullen is already standing at my side.
Hello, I'm Mike Carmel. This is the Dark Razor Chronicles Streamcast, Season 5, Episode 5, The First Parthis. In a small room crowded with oath, pride, and the Dark Razor, rank is about to be decided the hard way. Let's begin.
Cullen, Avon. Cair waves a lazy hand, as if brushing my words aside.
Apologies,
He says, his sarcasm blatant. He leans forward, smirking.
So, we've all been called into service. What would you have me do?
His mockery grates against every nerve. Sharael stays composed.
I require nothing of you alone, Cair Olosis. It's the duty of the oath I require.
He waves her off again, dismissive.
And what grand service is this?
I need an escort to Silandria.
Silandria?
His smirk falters, replaced by confusion.
Why?
The circle awaits.
She answers.
The circle? Which one? The white hasn't been seen in 40 years. Silandria's empty, the Parthan deserted, the village abandoned. I've seen it myself.
The amulet says otherwise. 13 members of the circle survive. 12 are on Silandria. Do you really think they'd reveal themselves to someone like you? Someone whose oath is so questionable?
Cair's face twists with fury. He clenches his jaw but doesn't speak. The insult has struck deep. A tense silence stretches before he speaks again, his voice low.
You've raised some valid concerns. The razor, for one. I'd like to examine it. Confirm this isn't an elaborate hoax.
Sharael's jaw tightens.
Hoax?
She repeats, her anger trembling beneath the surface.
Hoax!
Cair echoes. He leans back, his smugness returning.
Sharael Muldean.
He says her name with a mocking tone.
I haven't seen the razor in over 100 years. Its form may have changed, but I'll know it when I see it.
Sharael's lips curl into a cold smile.
Oh, I'm sure you will, since sight is the only way you've ever known it.
The insult lands like a slap. I think she's saying he's never been worthy of wielding the razor, never bonded with it. Has he tried and failed?
Cullen,
Sharael says, her tone flat.
place the razor on the table and step away. Mr. Olosis wishes to see if his standing has improved over the last century.
She's guessing. She's never met Cair before. How can she know? But it's an order, and I have no choice. I slide the crossbow back into its holster and stand. Time to show them both that I'm devoted to the oath, that I'll act without hesitation. I draw the razor. The eerie thrum vibrates through the air, low and haunting. Marta gasps from the kitchen doorway. Does she know the razor? Sharael called it the most sought-after weapon in the garden, at least before the contingency. There must be stories, legends. I really need to learn more. Cair's eyes widen slightly before he masks his interest. Shawn, in contrast, beams, the delight on his broad face almost childlike, odd for someone so massive. I make sure Cair notices how effortlessly I hold the blade, at first as if ready for battle, then shifting my grip to thumb and forefinger, pinching it like a delicate feather. Slowly, deliberately, I place the razor on the table between us, the sound of the blade against wood, sharp in the tense room. I step back, watching them. Shawn's no threat. His awe is genuine. He's loyal to Sharael, and by extension, the razor. I already believe he'd defend her with his life. But Cair is different. He's oath-taken, sure, but his sarcasm, his arrogance, they paint him as someone who's used to power, used to being right and rarely questioned. He carries himself with the confidence of a veteran soldier, but I see the cracks. He hasn't met his match in years. His biggest mistake, underestimating us, underestimating me. I've dealt with people like Cair my whole life, beat them at the quarterly festivals, shattered their pride, exposed their weaknesses. But this isn't a game. This is life and death, and I just handed him my sword. Cair stands, stepping toward the razor. He doesn't reach for it immediately, though. His eyes catch the inscription on the blade. He who stands before me shall fall. Fitting. He glances at me, gauging the distance, 2 meters. His gaze flicks to my holstered crossbow, a smirk tugging at his lips. He looks back at Sharael, bowing his head slightly. She nods in return. Permission granted. He reaches for the razor. Etiquette dictates 2 steps when examining another's bare sword. First, never take the grip unless invited. Cair follows tradition, sliding his fingers under the grip and under the blade, lifting it carefully. I brace myself, expecting him to fail. But the razor rises smoothly in his hands. My stomach flips. I glance at Sharael. She's smirking. Cair flips the blade with ease, studying the other side. Another inscription. He who stands with me shall prosper.
I remember the Avon motto,
He says, though it sounds more of envy than the disdain he's fostered.
I'd always been quite jealous of it, I think. It's a curious shape.
He muses, raising an eyebrow at me, a silent prompt. The wider tip adds weight for striking, I explain, my voice steady. It's long enough for one-handed use, but the extended grip allows for 2. The dull choke is ideal for blocking or trapping an opponent's blade.
Yes, I understand swords. I meant its style. Is this your influence?
I meet his gaze. Yes. Cair examines it further, but I know what's next. He has to grip it for battle. He returns the blade to the table, bowing to Sharael again. She nods, granting permission. He reaches for the hilt. His smirk fades almost instantly. His jaw tightens, his knuckles whiten as he strains to lift it. The floorboards creak under his feet. Sweat beads on his brow as he grips the hilt with both hands, muscles and tendons bulging. But the razor doesn't move. With a final grunt, he pushes hard, but all it does is shove him backward.
I don't understand. Why won't it?
Sharael ignores him.
Shawn Larnd, oath taken, if you please.
She gestures to the razor.
To avoid further misunderstanding, I ask you also petition the Costa Novacula, but do not be offended by its rejection. The razor is contracted to Cullen Avon.
My stomach tightens. Could the razor actually leave me? Shawn beams.
Thank you, Your Magus.
He says, approaching eagerly. He bows deeply, Sharael returns the gesture, and Shawn performs the same ritual. His massive hands handle the blade with reverence, tracing the engraved ridges, the polished surface. His face grows serious, focused. After a long moment, he sets the razor back on the table, bowing again. Sharael nods, granting him permission. Shawn grips the razor, his muscular arms flexing as he strains. His tendons bulge, his face reddens, but the blade stays put. Finally, he steps back, panting but smiling.
Well, I never.
Sharael offers a small smile, then turns her gaze to me.
Cullen Avon,
She says, her voice even.
oath taken. Pick up your sword and draw its edge across your forearm.
What? I replay her words in my mind. Did she just tell me to drag the razor across my arm? Every instinct screams against it. I remember old yarners telling stories of sword masters cutting themselves before battle, offering blood to their blades for victory. But that was ages ago, before my great-great-granda and great-granda outlawed sharp blades in competitions, before those so-called masters stopped showing up, afraid of losing. But this isn't an old tale. This is real, and I've been given a command. I reach for the razor. It lifts effortlessly, its weight familiar in my hand. Cair huffs in frustration, his eyes dark with envy. I turn the blade on myself, the cold metal gleaming under the room's dim light. My heart pounds in my chest. I press the edge against my forearm and draw it across my skin. Nothing. No cut. No pain.
You see,
Sharael says calmly, as if this is the most ordinary thing in the world.
the razor has chosen. There can be no doubt.
I stare at my arm, stunned. I have tested the blade. It should have cut into me like soft cheese. I press harder, sure it will bite this time. But the razor refuses. It will not cut me.
Cullen Avon, oath taken.
Sharael says, holding out her hands, palms up. She's asking for the razor. I nod, handing it to her, making a deliberate show of flipping the blade so the inscription, "He who stands with me shall prosper," faces up. Sharael accepts it, her eyes tracing the intricate designs on the blade before nodding to me again. It's a signal to retrieve it, and I do, the razor light in my grip.
Cullen Avon, oath taken. Hand me your weapon.
Her words are a command, not a request. My mind races. Can she actually wield the razor? It belongs to her after all, doesn't it? I place one hand beneath the blade, offering her the hilt. Without hesitation, she grasps it, and to my astonishment, lifts the sword as if it weighs nothing. Cair's face reddens, but he remains silent.
Cullen Avon, oath taken. Kneel before me.
Shawn's sharp intake of breath breaks the tense silence. This is bigger than I thought. Something monumental is about to happen. Without hesitation, I drop to my knees. Sharael raises the razor, its tip pointed to the ceiling, careful not to let it touch.
Cullen Avon, oath taken.
Her voice is solemn.
You are offered the contract of first Parthis.
Cair gasps. I catch him stiffen from the corner of my eye, brow furrowing in fury. His almond-shaped eyes flash. First Parthis? It sounds important, but I don't know what it means.
In this appointment, you will honor and obey the circle in all things, just as you will be honored and obeyed among the circle's ranks.
Her gaze sharpens.
You will honor and obey me, Sharael Maldine, above all others in the interests of our duty. You will honor Corbin and his disciplines in this duty, and never forget that he is your patron. If you accept, bow your head.
Do I accept? Is this just for show? Or am I truly taking on this responsibility? My heart pounds, thudding in my throat and ears. Everything has led here, hasn't it? All the years, the generations. It has to mean something. I bow my head. The table rattles as Cair slams his fist against it. Shawn draws his sword, the steel ringing loud in the small space, a jolt of fear shooting through me. Sharael doesn't flinch, but I glance at Shawn, his blade at Cair's throat.
Don't be a fool, brother.
Shawn growls. Sharael lowers the razor to the top of my head, pulling me back to focus.
I ask you again, Cullen Avon, oath taken. To deny this position, you have but to meet my eyes.
I keep my eyes on the floor, showing my acceptance. A strange vibration pulses through the razor. It starts as a gentle hum, but soon resonates through my entire body, a sensation unlike anything I've felt before. My vision swims, muscles sagging, both weary and exhilarated. Gasps echo, Cair, Shawn, Marta. But I focus on the sensation, flickers of light dancing across the floor, stretching endlessly. And then it stops. My strength returns. My vision sharpens. I feel light, almost weightless.
First Parthis, oath taken, Cullen Avon.
Sharael's voice is calm but firm.
The bond is complete. Rise and claim your position by accepting the razor in duty to your appointment.
I stand, feeling almost invincible. Sharael holds the razor out, the inscription still gleaming. He who stands with me shall prosper. I take it and sheathe the blade. To my shock, Sharael kneels before me, her head bowed until it touches the floor.
I, Sharael Maldine, swear to honor you, to take your guidance and counsel in all things, First Parthis.
I stand there, stunned. Shawn sheathes his sword and drops to his knees.
I swear to honor you in all things, before all who are under the circle's reign, in the capacity of our duty. Strength and long life, First Parthis.
I don't know what to say, so I say nothing. Shawn stands and makes to step forward, but Cair interrupts.
I protest!
Cair growls, leaning forward on the table.
You can't give a military position to someone like him. His family are oath-breakers. Cowards. What experience does he have?
Sharael's gaze sharpens.
Are you questioning my judgment, Cair Olosis? Do you question the magic of the razor? Did you not witness the bond?
I am General Olosis, and in this, a military matter, yes, I am questioning your judgment.
Cair's voice rises, trembling with rage.
The magic doesn't understand. You can't give a military position to someone without military experience.
Cair's face flushes deep red, fists clenched on the table. Dagar, unnoticed by Cair, stirs on the table, subtle, but I see it. He rises to all fours, stretching with feline grace, sharp eyes locked on Cair. Sharael remains composed, though her eyes narrow.
True enough, Cair Olosis. The Parthi will control the Circle's armies if called to war. The Oathsworn will be among the Parthi. Their wisdom and experience will support the first Parthis. Isn't that ideal? Or is your real objection that I've placed this man above you?
That is not the issue.
Cair snaps.
Then what is?
She yells, frustration breaking through.
He is a human child of 20 summers. He can't have the experience needed to fill the post. No one will follow a child. You're making a grave error.
Who are you to speak against my judgment?
She snarls, her voice dangerously low. Cair's face twists in fury.
Your judgment? Your judgment has been in question since I first saw you dangling from his arms, passed out from drink, lying naked in his bed. You may have the razor, But you are not Sharael Maldine. How dare you undermine my experience and position, you imposter?
Cair Olosis.
Sharael's voice slices through the air, laced with venom. Cair gasps, his rage faltering into shock.
How do you know my full name? Not even my brother knows it.
Light blooms in the room, its source unclear. Sharael inhales deeply, her presence expanding.
I am Sharael Maldine, magus of the White Circle, and authority above all in the garden. I am Sharael Maldine, matriarch of the Costa Novacula.
Shawn gasps, his reaction nearly as sharp as Cair's. It isn't just the volume or intensity that shocks them. It's the weight of the titles. I feel it too, pressing down on everyone in the room. Sparks of light, like tiny fireflies, rain down from the ceiling, multiplying as they cascade over Sharael. Her jaw clenches, her next words grinding through gritted teeth.
Now bow before me, or pay the price.
A deafening clap of thunder shakes the room, rattling dishes and window panes. The rush of air lifts her hair and clothes as if she's submerged underwater. Cair stumbles back, nearly toppling his chair. Marta lets out a frightened squeal from the kitchen, while Shawn drops to his knees, head bowed. I'm rooted to the spot, awestruck, trying to comprehend the raw power surging through the room. Cair breathes heavily, his fury momentarily checked by fear, though the red flush of anger still lingers on his face. Golden light sparkles around Sharael, the air crackling with energy. Her fingers curl, a dark orb forming at her fingertips, sizzling with violent intent.
Last chance, mortal.
Sharael growls. Cair, visibly shaken, dives behind the table just as an invisible force sends it flying across the room. It slams into the wall with a crash, splintering wood and shattering glass. To his credit, Cair is on all fours, pressing his forehead to the floor.
Forgive me, matriarch.
Cair stammers.
Forgive me. We've been without guidance for so long. I didn't trust my senses.
You called me an imposter.
Sharael snaps, her voice booming with magical force, shaking the very walls.
How dare you?
Cair trembles, but his voice holds steady.
It isn't only I, matriarch. The oath taken have doubted. When the call began, I came only out of curiosity. No one expected you to truly be here. It was meant as a lark.
A lark?
She nearly screams. The house quakes.
Are you speaking for all the oath taken? Is there no loyalty left? No vigilance?
Cair hesitates, but Shawn steps in.
The Larnd family has faith, Dia.
He says, bowing his head. Dia? Why is he calling her that? Sharael's face softens slightly.
Rise, Shawn Larnd, oath taken. My wrath is not for you.
Shawn stands, his hair still flapping from the magical wind.
Yes, Dia.
Cair Olosis.
Sharael's voice booms again.
Are you loyal to your oath?
Cair hesitates, just for a moment. But Shawn, always the loyal one, moves fast. His sword flashes, poised to strike Cair's neck.
That will not be necessary.
Shawn freezes, hand trembling.
But it is required by law, Dia.
He protests, panic tightening his features. The swirling wind calms. The shimmering light above Sharael dims. The dark orb at her fingertips dissolves into nothingness.
Nevertheless,
She says quietly, the tension in the room easing.
it will not be necessary. If Cair Olosis wishes to break his bond, I bid him do so, and trouble me no more. I have no use for oath-breakers or non-believers.
Her voice catches slightly on non-believers, like the word itself feels wrong. Even in the chaos that sticks with me. Dia. Non-believers? Cair lifts his head, eyes wide.
I am no oath-breaker, matriarch. Forgive my doubts. I have served my oath to you my entire life. I am here. I serve. I am general of...
You are oath taken.
Sharael interrupts, her voice ironclad.
That title takes precedence over any garden rank. This is your last chance. Oath taken or oath breaker?
Cair bows his head, his voice soft but resolute.
You have my oath. You have always had my oath.
Sharael approaches, her steps slow, deliberate. Her posture is relaxed, but tension lingers in the air. She stops dangerously close to him. I edge forward, on guard, but then I realize this is a test. She's showing Cair that with his oath, she'll trust him too.
Rise, Cair Olosis.
He stands trembling. He's a tall elf, but Sharael's presence makes them seem equal in height and power. She lifts his chin with a finger, forcing him to meet her gaze, then leans in, waiting. No, I recognize this. It's an ancient custom, an old way of sealing a vow. Cair hesitates, then leans forward, his lips brushing hers. He shudders at the contact, probably feeling the same overwhelming magic I did when sworn in as first Parthis. He steps back, visibly shaken.
I accept your vow.
Sharael says softly.
The bond is made. You are no longer oath taken. You are oath sworn. Your oath will never again be questioned. Break your vow, and you'll face my wrath, and the wrath of the magic you've invoked today.
Cair nods solemnly, then turns toward me. Shit, he's going to swear to me now. How does it go? I've only heard stories. My nerves buzz as Cair steps around the splintered table to stand before me. I remember the motion. I'm supposed to raise the razor, blade poised as if to pierce. As I lift it, Cair drops to his knees. I place the razor's tip at the hollow of his throat. Then, he presses his lips to the blade, right over the inscription. He who stands before me shall fall. Neither Sharael nor I had asked him to do this. It's a gesture, a way to show he'll follow Sharael's decision, even if it elevates me to a title he believes should be his. I withdraw the razor, and Cair rises. Without a word to me, he turns back to Sharael, offering a simple nod before returning to his place. So, he didn't swear to me directly, only to the razor. Does Sharael realize? From her clenched jaw, she does. Anger flares across her face.
Your oath is accepted, Cair Olosis. Oath sworn. You are bound until death breaks it.
Shawn, still prostrate on the ground, rises. His face is flushed from the weight of submission, but there's a wide grin on his face.
Dia,
Shawn says, bowing.
may I also renew my vow?
What? No. He just wants to kiss her. Sharael hesitates, a flicker of uncertainty in her eyes. But Shawn doesn't seem to notice. After a pause, she nods.
Of course you may, Shawn Larnd, believer and oath taken.
Shawn's face lights up. He steps forward, towering over her, and she tilts her face upward, eyes closed. He bends down, placing his lips against hers in a surprisingly tender gesture. A flash of jealousy burns through me, hot and unwelcome. When they part, Shawn stumbles back, gasping for breath, dazed as if the magic of the vow has hit him full force. Still, he manages to circle around her and kneel before me. I raise the razor again, positioning it for Shawn's act of oath. He kisses the blade, just as Cair did, and I withdraw it with steady hands. Shawn lowers himself to the floor, pressing his hands and forehead down in complete submission.
First Parthis,
He says, his voice heavy with the weight of his vow. My heart races. What do I say? The words tumble out before I can think. Rise, Shawn Larnd, oath sworn. Are those the right words? Do I even have the authority to acknowledge his oath? Shouldn't Sharael be doing this? Shawn rises, beaming, and moves to stand beside Sharael, taking his place at her left side.
Your bonds have been renewed this day, Shawn Larnd.
Sharael announces, her voice calm but commanding.
No longer are you oath taken. Now you are oath sworn. You will be held accountable to this bond until death does break it. And know this, both of you.
She glances at Cair.
You are now the beginning of your lines. The magic will not tolerate the breaking of your oath until it has been passed to a new generation of oath taken.
Her eyes sweep over the room. It's in complete disarray. Broken glass, splintered wood, and upturned furniture litter the floor. Marta stands near the kitchen, trembling, but there's an odd grin on her face.
Marta,
Sharael says, holding out her hand. Marta steps forward, her smile widening as she takes Sharael's hand gently.
Marta, forgive me for the destruction and disruption I've caused. I will see that everything is put right.
Your Magus.
Marta begins, her voice hesitant.
Please, Marta, call me Sharael.
Marta's grin only broadens.
Perhaps one day, but knowing what I know now, the razor
She gestures towards me.
and your position in the White Circle. It is only proper, your Magus. What do you wish of me?
Sharael nods, accepting Marta's formality.
Very well. I ask for your oath, that you will not speak of what you've seen this day. You must not spread any news or rumors about the razor, myself, or my companions. Can you give me this vow?
Oh yes, your Magus, of course.
Marta says eagerly. Sharael gives her a small nod of thanks.
Cullen and I will retire now. Please bring food and drink to our room. Cair will see to the damages, and I will ensure funds are provided for repairs. We will settle everything before we depart.
Her gaze shifts to Shawn, whose face lights up at being addressed directly.
Shawn, you are not tasked with repairs. You may do as you please.
Then she turns to me, extending her hand.
First, Parthis, escort me to my room.
Yes, your Magus, I say, bowing slightly as I take her outstretched hand. As we turn to leave, a thought strikes me. Where is Dagar? He'd been on the table before it was flung across the room. I scan the space until I spot him in the corner. The little beast is sitting on the floor, tugging down on his lower left eyelid and sticking his tongue out at Sharael, who shakes her head with an amused grin.
Dagger here! That was the Dark Razor Chronicles Streamcast, Season 5, Episode 5, The First Parthis. If you enjoyed this episode, share the show, recommend it to a friend, and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps more listeners find the story. Find links, updates, and more at mikecarmel.ca/streamcast. Now scoot along, Dandy Souse, mind the sword, and bring snacks next time.